Welcome, UCL fans, and more specifically, Real Marill's fans. I'm Nintendo Fanatic 64, and I'm here to do the draft analysis for the United Championship League Season 2, each team individually. If you do enjoy this video, I hope you leave it a thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments section below who you believe will be the MVP on the Real Marill's team. Now, normally when I've been doing these videos, I've been doing a comparison from Season 1 draft to Season 2. However, since the Real Marills were not a part of the UCL during the Season 1, we only have to go with what they are drafting for this season. But do know that, of course, this team is really experienced in battling, or at least this league format style battling. He has competed in the GBA for several different seasons, I believe. I know he's been in the GBA, I just don't know how long he's been there, but I know he's been a real tough competitor for it. And don't forget, he did compete during the off-season of the Little Cup Championship for the UCL as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the draft that he had. Starting in the OU tier, we had Tornadus Therian, Megaladios, and Klefki, Mamoswine, Tentacruel, and Galvantula, Embor, Exploud, and Medicham, and then the Gorgeist Superform, Regirock, and Floatzel. So a very interesting mix of Pokemon to say the least. With you have Tornadus Therian, which I believe has Regenerator, so it gets nice and kind of makes like a wall for it that a lot of people, gonna have a hard time figuring out. If I remember, Tornadus Therian was on the championship team of last season, the Bronx Bearticks. We have Mega Latios chosen. Neither of the Lotties had their Mega Forms chosen during Season 1, and now both of them are actually getting their Mega Forms this time. Klefki, which is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon to use, even though its stats are not the greatest, it is probably one of the best, prankster Pokemon, with being able to run things such as like the dual screens, Thunder Wave. It can set up spikes. I believe it can get access to. Oh, let's take a look before I start taking a guess at things. But let me just go through some of the moveset of Klefki here. I mean, it's probably most move that will be used the most, at least from what I've seen, has been Foul Play. Since it doesn't have the greatest attack stat, but of course the higher the target's attack stat is, the greater the damage Foul Play does for it. It can use Play Rough if you really want to run it physically with it. It can set up spikes. If he wants to run, like I said, most commonly used ones are usually going to be run with dual screens. I just know a lot about Klefki because if I was to become more of a PokeTuber, if you want to say, I probably would use my mascot to be Klefki for it, just because it's one of my favorites for sure. A lot of people didn't think that a keychain Pokemon would be all that great, but then it turned out to be obviously overused in the competitive scene for it. But I mean, a lot of other things can run with it. If it weren't for the fact, I'm pretty sure they're running by the Smogon tiers for UU and below, Swagger would be a thing. You're running Swagger. Foul Play was always a fun thing I remember doing as well. But, has a lot of great different moves at its disposal. Being able to do a lot of cool things with it. Again, stats, not all that impressive on it, but definitely, I would say, one of, if not the best, prankster Pokemon in OU, to say the least. Moving on, he had Mamoswine, which was had the fourth number of knockouts during Season 1 as part of the Long Island Regirockies. Tentacruel, again, another one which, looking at it, is really great, can set up toxic spikes, which can sometimes set a team, if they don't have a poison type or any way of getting rid of hazards. Can really mess them up if you get a dual layer of toxic spikes. Can also be run as a rapid spinner and even run with, what is it? If you want to really mess with somebody, give it Liquid Ooze, so if they try to recover health, they're actually just going to take more damage from it, which is really nice. So anyone like Mega Venusaur, or I'm trying to think if there's anyone that can set up Leech Seed, setting it up on Tentacruel, though it might hurt Tentacruel, will actually hurt the opponent at the same time, so that could be really nice. Galvantula, good for setting up like sticky webs. It can volt switch. It's got that compound ice thunder going for it as well. So definitely could be like, one of the, could be a nice sash suicide lead with it. Just set up the sticky web, and then it's pretty fast, I'm pretty sure. So do something like a thunder or energy ball, depending on what the leads are for it. Embor was one that I don't remember. I think it was drafted during season 1, but it wasn't used as much. But I know he's ran it well before in the past, and we can definitely expect to see lots of good things from Embor this season. Running Explode, kind of an interesting one. His only normal type of the game or of the draft that he had with Explode. Boom bursting Explode. I think he can learn. Does it get Scrafty? If it can, then it's like, going to be a real pain in the butt to deal with when it comes to, because normally you would just send out a ghost type and you'd be able to prevent it from being hit. But if it gets, where is it at, so I can figure this out. I'm just trying to find it in, there we go, Explode. Yeah, it gets Scrappy as its hidden ability, so run that, get a, most people will probably run like a Choice Scarf or Choice Specs Boom Burst on it, so, no ghost types can really stop it. Nothing really wants to take a Boom Burst, especially since it's a stab Boom Burst as well. Medicham getting another fighting type down in RU, but definitely can be a scary mon to go with on it. Fake outs, give it high jump kick. Since it's not a mega, you can run it with, like, I think I want to say the item is a scope lens, so it increases its accuracy or increases its critical hit ratio, something like that. Went Super Gorgeist as well, one of the higher HP stats, I believe, of all the different Gorgeist sets, as well as can be really a nice defensive wall. It's a spin blocker, so it gives him, if he sets up any type of hazards, then he has a way to prevent people from at least using rapid spin to get them away. They'd have to defog just to get all the stuff out of there. Regirock, another nice one. We've seen, it's the mascot of the Long Island Regirockies and the coach Snips, but he sniped it this season for it. Last season it was sniped by the New York Yankees, who are not joining us this season for it, so it's kind of interesting to see that the team that is not joining for Season 1, but is joining for Season 2, each drafted the same mon, both thinking they kind of sniped Nips in that sense on it. And then finally, the final draft pick was Floatzel. Definitely a nice fast water type on it. I don't really see too many Floatzels, so I don't know exactly what all it does, but let's take a quick look. Just pulling up its stats. There it is, Floatzel. Definitely, it's got a high, like I said, high speed and high physical attack, so I'm sure it has access to Aqua Jet on there. It can also learn stuff like Ice Fang if you want to deal with, one of those grass types out there. Trying to see what else you can run it, especially, I guess, if you want to. I mean, I'm just looking at some of the moves, but special attack, really not all that effective. So really fast, really hard hitter. So if you just want something at the end to just kind of hit your opponents hard and, get him out of the way, probably one of the fastest ones you can use for that. But especially if he sends out Galvantula to set up sticky webs as well, and they don't have a way of getting rid of it using Gorgeist on there. So definitely an interesting team. I cannot wait to see how well they do this season, or for their first inaugural season. If you think about it, for the UCL, for the first full season. Again, they were here for the Little Cup battle or tournament, but are joining us for this full-on season. So it'll definitely be interesting to see. Good luck to the coach of the Real Marills, Mega Mogwai, or Miguel, I believe is his real name for it. But good luck to him this season. And like I said, let me know down in the comment section below who you believe will be the MVP of the Real Marills during this season for him. So thank you all very much again for watching. Again, if you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and leave it a thumbs up. Just let me know what you think of it, and then This, of course, is all unofficial to the United Championship League. If you do enjoy this, I always encourage you to tweet at the UCL or tweet at the coaches being like, hey, check this guy out, he's good, whatever you want to say to it. I don't want to put words in your all's mouth for that. But thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and good night.